I wrote my first letter to my father's grave when I was 7 years old. It was November 15, 1994. 3 weeks after the funeral. I didn't understand death yet, not really. I knew my dad was gone, but gone was an abstract concept. Gone like a business trip. Gone like the time he went to a place he couldn't tell us about and came back 3 months later with a new scar and a teddy bear for me. My mother found me at the cemetery that day, kneeling in the fresh dirt, trying to push a folded piece of paper into the ground. "What are you doing, sweetheart?" "Writing to Daddy. Teacher said he's in heaven now." I thought maybe if I bury the letter, it'll get to him faster. Like a mailbox. My mother didn't correct me. She didn't tell me that dead men don't read letters. She just knelt beside me, helped me dig a small hole, and watched me place the envelope inside. "What did you write?" she asked. I told him about my spelling test. I got an A. I wanted him to know. Before we continue, make sure to subscribe to Soldier Stories for more incredible true stories of sacrifice and mystery. And tell us in the comments, where are you watching from today? That was the beginning. After that day, I went back every month. The 15th of every month, rain or shine, summer or winter. I would bring a letter, dig a small hole beside the headstone, and bury it. My mother thought it was a phase. A way of grieving that I would eventually outgrow. I didn't outgrow it. At 10, I wrote about my first fight at school. At 13, about the girl I liked who didn't like me back. At 16, about getting my driver's license. At 18, about graduating high school, the empty chair in the audience where he should have been sitting. Every milestone. Every heartbreak. Every triumph and failure. 360 letters over 30 years. And I never expected a single reply. My father was Sergeant First Class Michael Torres, United States Army Special Forces. That's what the headstone said. That's what the folded flag in our living room represented. That's what the silver star and purple heart in the shadow box meant. But I didn't really know what any of it meant when I was 7. I just knew that one day my father went to work and never came home. My mother told me the story when I was older. He had been on a classified mission. She didn't know where, she didn't know the details, she just knew it was dangerous. In October 1994, 2 men in dress uniforms knocked on our door. The words they said changed everything. "Ma'am, we regret to inform you." They never recovered his body. The official report said there was an explosion. Nothing left to bring home. The casket at the funeral was empty, just a symbolic gesture, a place for us to grieve. I didn't know it was empty until I was 12. I overheard my mother talking to my aunt, crying about how she never got to say goodbye to his face. That night, I snuck into her room and read the casualty report she kept in her drawer. Remains unrecoverable. Symbolic interment approved. I went to the cemetery the next day and stared at the headstone. "There's nothing under here, is there?" I said out loud. "You're not really here." But I kept writing anyway. Because even if his body wasn't there, I needed to believe, that something was listening. Let me tell you about some of the letters. Letter number 7, March 1995. "Dad, Mom cried again today. I don't know how to make her stop. I tried to make her breakfast, but I burned the eggs. I'm sorry. I wish you were here to help." Letter number 34, June 1997. "I made the baseball team. I'm playing shortstop just like you did. Coach says I have good hands. I pretend you're in the stands every game. It helps." Letter number 89, November 2001. "Dad, something terrible happened. Planes hit buildings in New York. Everyone is scared. People at school are saying we're going to war. I'm 14 now. In 4 years I could enlist. I want to be like you. But Mom made me promise I wouldn't. I don't know what to do." Letter number 156, August 2007. "I graduated college today. Business degree. I know you wanted me to be an officer, but I couldn't do it, Dad. I couldn't put Mom through that fear again. I hope you understand. I hope you're not disappointed in me." Letter number 203, June 2011. "I got married today. Her name is Sarah. You would love her, Dad. She's strong like Mom, but she laughs easier. We saved a seat for you at the ceremony. Put your photo there." Sarah cried when she saw it. I did too. Letter number 267, September 2016. "You're a grandfather now. His name is Michael. After you. He has your eyes, Dad. Everyone says so. I'm going to tell him about you every single day. I'm going to make sure he knows who you were." Letter number 359, October 2024. "Little Michael started asking questions. Where's Grandpa? I didn't know what to say. How do you explain death to a child? I tried to do what Mom did, told him you're in heaven watching over us. He asked if he could write you a letter. I said yes. We're coming to the cemetery tomorrow. 3 generations writing to a ghost. Letter number 360, November 2024. Dad, I'm tired. I'm 37 years old and I've been doing this for 30 years. That's longer than I knew you. I don't even know if this helps anymore. But I can't stop. It's the only connection I have to you. So I'll keep writing. Until I can't anymore. The call came on December 3, 2024. I was at work when my phone rang. Unknown number. I almost didn't answer. Is this Michael Torres Jr.? Yes. This is the Riverside Veterans Cemetery. I'm calling about your father's grave site. My heart stopped. Is something wrong? Not exactly wrong, sir. But strange. We're doing renovations on Section C, and we needed to move some headstones temporarily. When our workers excavated around your father's plot, they found something. Found something? It's an empty grave. Pause. Sir, we found a metal box. Buried about 2 feet down just beside where the casket would be. And inside the box. Another pause, longer this time. Inside the box were letters. Hundreds of them. All addressed to Dad. I couldn't breathe. Sir? Are you still there? Those are my letters, I whispered. I've been burying them there for 30 years. We assume so, sir. But here's the thing that's unusual. Every single letter has been opened. And underneath each one there's a response. Handwritten. Addressed to his son. I sat down heavily in my chair. That's impossible. Nobody knows about those letters. Nobody. Sir, I think you should come see this yourself. I drove to the cemetery in a daze. The renovation area was sectioned off with orange tape. A worker led me to a small trailer where the box was being kept. It was a military-grade ammunition container, waterproof, airtight. Inside, stacked with meticulous care, were 360 envelopes. My envelopes. My handwriting. My letters to a dead man. But beneath each one there was another piece of paper. Same cream color, same fold pattern. Different handwriting. My hands trembled as I pulled out the first letter. Letter number 1, November 1994. My 7-year-old scrawl. Dear Daddy, I got an A on my spelling test. I wish you could see it. I miss you. Love, Mikey. Beneath it, in neat, adult handwriting. Dear Mikey, I'm so proud of you. An A is amazing. I knew you could do it. I miss you too more than you could ever know. I'm sorry I can't be there. But I'm watching. I'm always watching. Love, Dad. I dropped the letter. My mother had been dead for 3 years. There was no one else who knew about these letters. No one who could have written this. I pulled out another. Letter number 34 about making the baseball team. The response, shortstop. That's my boy. I bet you're incredible out there. I wish I could watch you play. Keep swinging, son. I'll always be cheering for you even if you can't hear me. Another. Letter number 89 about 9/11 and wanting to enlist. Don't do it, son. Not for me. Your mother needs you. The world needs you. Being a soldier isn't the only way to serve. Be a good man. That's enough. That's more than enough. I read for 3 hours. Every letter. Every response. Whoever wrote these new details that only my father would know. Nicknames. Inside jokes. Memories from before I was old enough to remember them. And the handwriting. I had samples of my father's writing, birthday cards from when I was little, his signature on documents. I wasn't an expert, but it looked identical. It looked exactly like my father's hand. I took the box home and spread everything on my dining room table. Sarah thought I was losing my mind. Maybe I was. Michael, this isn't possible, she said, reading over my shoulder. Someone's playing a cruel joke. Oh, who would do this? Who even could? These letters were buried. I buried them myself at random times when no one was watching. Then how? I don't know. I called the cemetery back. Asked if they had security cameras, records of visitors, anything that could explain how someone accessed my father's grave repeatedly over 30 years. They had nothing useful. The cameras only covered the main entrance and had only been installed in 2015. Before that, the cemetery was essentially unmonitored at night. At night. Someone had been coming to my father's grave at night. For 30 years. Digging up my letters, reading them, writing responses, and reburying them. Who does that? Who could do that? I started going through the responses chronologically, looking for clues. Most were simple, emotional, supportive, fatherly. But some contained details that made me stop cold. In response to letter number 156, about my graduation. I was there. Back row, left side, behind the tall man in the blue jacket. I saw you walk across that stage. I saw your mother crying. I wanted to run to you both. But I couldn't. Not yet. Maybe not ever. I'm sorry, son. I'm so sorry. You was there. In response to letter number 267, about little Michael being born. I've seen him. Your son. My grandson. He was wearing a red jacket and holding your hand at the grocery store on Maple Street. He has my eyes. You're right. He looks just like I did at that age. I stood 10 feet away from you and you didn't recognize me. How could you? I don't even recognize myself anymore. I dropped the paper. He saw us. He's been watching us. My father wasn't dead. My father had been watching us for 30 years, close enough to touch, and never said a word. But why? The answer came in the final letter. Letter number 360, my last letter, about being tired. About not knowing if I could keep doing this. The response was longer than the others. 3 pages, front and back. The handwriting was shakier, less steady. An old man's hand. My dear son, if you're reading this, then you found the box. That means the time has finally come. I've been waiting 30 years for this moment, and I still don't know how to say what I need to say. I didn't die in 1994. I wish I had. It would have been easier, for me, for you, for your mother. But life doesn't give us easy choices. In October 1994, I testified in a classified military tribunal. The things I saw, the things I knew, they could have brought down powerful people. Dangerous people. The kind of people who make witnesses disappear. The government gave me a choice: die or disappear. If I died, you and your mother would be safe. You would grieve, but you would be free. If I lived openly, they would come for all of us. I chose to die. They gave me a new name. A new face. Surgery changed everything. A new life in a city I can't name. I became a ghost. Michael Torres ceased to exist and a stranger took his place. The rules were clear. No contact. Ever. Not a phone call, not a letter, not a glimpse. If I broke the rules, I would put you both in danger. But I couldn't do it, son. I couldn't stay away completely. I found out about your letters by accident. I came to the cemetery one night, just to see the headstone, just to feel close to the life I'd lost. And I saw a fresh patch of dirt beside the stone. I dug it up. I found your first letter. A 7-year-old boy writing to his dead father about a spelling test. I sat in that cemetery and cried until the sun came up. After that, I came every month. The 16th, always one day after you. I would dig up your letter, read it, and write back. I knew you would never see my responses. I knew it was pointless. But I needed you to know that someone was listening. Even if you never found out. I watched you grow up from a distance. Every baseball game. Every graduation. Your wedding. The birth of your son. I was there for all of it, hiding in crowds, pretending to be a stranger, close enough to hear your voice but never close enough to hold you. It was the worst torture imaginable. And I would do it again. 1,000 times. Because every glimpse of you was worth it. The letter continued. The people I testified against are dead now. The last one died 6 months ago. I've been waiting, counting down the days until it was safe. And now your letter, your final letter, asking if any of this matters. Saying you're tired. Saying you might stop. I can't let you stop, son. Not now. Not when we're finally so close. By the time you read this, I will have contacted the U.S. Marshal's office. My case handler knows what I'm doing. For the first time in 30 years, I have permission to come home. I don't expect you to forgive me. I don't expect you to understand. I missed your entire life. I missed your mother's entire life. She died without ever knowing I was still breathing. That guilt will follow me to my real grave. But I had to protect you. I had to keep you safe. And the only way to do that was to stay dead. I'm an old man now. 71 years old. I have maybe a few years left if I'm lucky. I don't want to spend them hiding anymore. If you're willing, if there's any part of you that can look at this stranger's face and see your father underneath, I would like to meet my grandson. I would like to sit at your dinner table. I would like to hear your voice without hiding behind a tree or a car or a crowd of strangers. I would like to be your father again. For whatever time I have left. I'll be at the cemetery on December 15th. 1 month from today. At sunset. I'll be the old man sitting on the bench near Section C. If you come, I'll know you've forgiven me. Or at least that you're willing to try. If you don't come, I'll understand. I'll disappear again for good this time. And I'll spend my final years knowing that I did the right thing, even if it cost me everything. I love you, son. I've loved you every single day for 37 years. Even when I couldn't say it. Even when I couldn't show it. Even when I had to pretend you didn't exist. You were never alone. I was always there. Always. Your father. Michael Torres Sr. P.S. The spelling test. You wrote necessary as necessary. You still got an A. I counted that as a win. December 15th came faster than I expected. I didn't tell Sarah what I was planning. I didn't tell anyone. Part of me still believed it was a trick, an elaborate, cruel hoax designed to break me. But another part of me, the 7-year-old boy who buried his first letter in the dirt, needed to know. I arrived at the cemetery at 4:30, half an hour before sunset. Section C was empty except for a single figure sitting on a bench near my father's headstone. He was old. White hair, weathered face, a slight tremor in his hands. He wore a simple jacket, nothing military, nothing that would draw attention. He could have been anyone's grandfather waiting for a bus. But when he looked up and saw me, his eyes filled with tears. Those eyes. My son's eyes. Mikey? No one had called me that in 30 years. Not since my mother stopped because it hurt too much. Not since the letters where it was just ink on paper. But this man said it like a prayer. Like a word he had been holding in his mouth for 3 decades, waiting for the chance to release it. I walked toward him. Every step felt like moving through water. I stopped 5 feet away. "Prove it," I said. My voice was shaking. "Tell me something only my father would know." The old man nodded. He took a breath. "When you were 4, you had a nightmare about a monster under your bed. I carried you to the window and showed you the moon." I said, "See that? That's my flashlight. When I'm away, I point it at your window so the monsters know someone's watching. After that, every time there was a full moon, you would salute the window and say, 'Thanks, Dad.'" I had forgotten that memory. I had forgotten it completely until this moment. But suddenly I could see it. My father's face, young and strong, holding me up to the window. The moon hanging full and bright. "You called it the monster shield," the old man continued. "You drew a picture of it. Crayon. Yellow moon, red house, little boy saluting. Your mother kept it on the refrigerator until you died," I whispered. He nodded. "Until I died." I don't know how long we stood there. Minutes. Hours. Time stopped making sense. Finally I spoke. "You let me believe you were dead. For 30 years. You let Mom die believing it." "I know. She grieved for you every day. She never remarried. She never moved on. She loved you until her last breath." "I know." His voice cracked. "I was at her funeral. Back row. Left side. I watched them lower her casket, and I couldn't even put a flower on her grave because someone might recognize me. How is that supposed to make me feel? I don't expect it to make you feel anything good. I just need you to know that it wasn't a choice I made lightly. It was her or me. Your safety or my presence. I chose you. I will always choose you." I wanted to scream at him. I wanted to hit him. I wanted to walk away and never look back. But I also wanted to hug him. I wanted to introduce him to my son. I wanted to hear every story he had never been able to tell me. 30 years, I said. "You owe me 30 years. I know. I'll spend whatever time I have left trying to pay it back." "You can't. You can't ever pay it back." "Then I'll die trying." Silence. And then, without deciding to do it, I closed the distance between us. I wrapped my arms around this stranger with my father's eyes and my father's voice and my father's memories. And he held me. The way he used to hold me when I was small. Before the monsters. Before the war. Before death came between us. "I got all your letters," he whispered into my shoulder. "Every single one. And I wrote back every single time. I couldn't send them. I couldn't risk you finding out before it was safe. I found them, Dad. I found them all." I know, son." We stayed like that until the sun went down. My father lived for 4 more years. 4 years of Sunday dinners. 4 years of bedtime stories with his grandson. 4 years of finally being a family again. He told us everything, the mission, the tribunal, the threats, the surgery, the new identity. He showed us the scars, physical and otherwise. He cried when he talked about my mother, about the life they should have had. On his last night he asked me to bring the box. All 360 letters and all 360 responses. He held them in his lap like treasure. "I used to read them over and over," he said. "On the bad nights when I wanted to break the rules and just come home. Your words kept me going. You kept me alive." "The letters were for you," I said. "I just didn't know it." He smiled, that same smile from the old photographs before everything changed. "They found me anyway. They always found me." He died the next morning holding my hand. We buried him for real this time. Same cemetery. Same section. But a new plot, next to my mother's. Together at last. I still write letters. Once a month on the 15th. But now I write to both of them. And sometimes when the moon is full, I look up at the sky and salute. "Thanks, Dad. Thanks for the monster's shield. Moral of the story: some sacrifices are invisible. Some love is silent. But it's always there, watching, waiting, protecting. Even when we can't see it. Even when we don't know. A parent's love doesn't die. It just finds a different way to reach us. If this story moved you, please subscribe to Soldier Stories. Share it with someone who needs to hear it. And remember, the people who love you might be closer than you think. They might just be waiting for the right moment to come home.